Good morning students, welcome back to Triveni Memorial Senior Secondary School online classes. Students, today we are going to start with one of our another chapter from class 7th in geography, that is chapter number 5, water. Students, you know this thing very well and we have studied it in the earlier chapter also, that Earth is unique planet and it is also called as blue planet. And why it is called as blue planet? Because of the presence of water on it. Now water is present on the Earth's surface in different form, in the form of ice, in the form of liquid or in gaseous form also. And also we have studied or we are already known about the fact of water cycle. So let's begin students studying about this chapter. When rain occurs, what we used to observe? We used to observe rain puddles, small rain puddles, and when rain vanish, these rain puddles also get vanish as the rain disappear along with the rain only. Now as I told you the concept of water cycle, you can see here also what happened in water cycle. Basically the water that is present on the earth surface used to evaporate it, that is get heated up. Why? Because of the presence of heat of the sun, and when it heated up it got condensed or get collected in the form of clouds, and when these clouds became heavy and unable to store that water here, that water falls down again on the earth surface in the form of rain. So this process goes on in a circular manner, and this manner is called as water cycle, as you can see here also. Thereafter students, this I already told you that we have water in different forms, in glaciers, in oceans, in lakes. We have fresh water also and we have salty water also. But the question is, how much amount of fresh water is available with us? What we can say is that the total amount of water that is available on the earth surface, out of that very little amount of water is consumable or is fresh water. Rest of the water is ocean water, that is salt is dissolved in that water and we cannot consume that water for drinking or for other activities. So that is salty water, ocean water. Ocean water is salty. Why? Because salt is dissolved in it. That is why it is salty and we cannot use it for consumption. You can see here salt is dissolved in it, and the common salt that we used to get from these ocean after getting separated, that is your NaCl, which is your sodium chloride. That is also known as your common table salt that we people are eating or which is edible by us in our day-to-day life. Then is student distribution of water bodies. This I already told you that different water bodies are there on the earth surface. Ice caps are there, oceans are there, like 97.3% are water that is available with us is in the form of oceans. What does that mean? Only 3% water is there with us, which is fresh water or which can be easily consumed by us. We cannot consume this water because salt is dissolved in it in the form of ice caps. Then is your groundwater, fresh water, rivers, atmosphere. These all are the sources, or you can say various factors where water bodies or water is distributed in different way. So let's move ahead students. So what we can say that definitely water is absolutely essential or important commodity for us, and especially when we are thirsty. When we are thirsty, we need water for us. So water is the only element that can quench our thirst. That is why it is essential for us. And as I already told you that fresh water is very less available with us, so we need to consume that water, we need to preserve that water, because that is very essential for us. And if we are going to misuse the water, soon it got demolished and no water will be left for us. Thereafter student, water ocean circulation is there. What does that mean? If you have just ever went to any of the ocean or seashore, you always found that the water is in movement. Ocean water is never used to be found in still form. It always keep on moving, it always keep on circulating. That is your ocean circulation. Now the question is, in what form this movement of water is there, in what form this ocean circulation is there. This is either in the form of waves, or in the form of tides, or in the form of currents. Now we will study what are these waves, what are tides, or what are these currents. Now firstly, we will talk about waves. Now what are waves? What we can say, that when the water on the surface of the ocean rises up and then falls down alternatively, then such pattern, that is rising of the water then falling down, then such formed pattern is called as waves. You can see here also water movement, water is rising up then coming down. So what is that? That is your waves. So moving ahead students, yes, and during storm timing the height of these waves reaches to the maximum level, which leads to the spread of water in nearby area, and automatically the nearby area got affected and got ruined. All the people who were settled in that area, their life got disturbed, and sometime the situation of tsunami also occurred. Now what is tsunami? That I already told you, that when these waves became very high, excess amount of water come out from the ocean, which disturbs the life of all the habitat of all the people who are residing in that area. So that is tsunami. Then your next is tides. Now what are tides? When there is rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice in a day, then that is called as tide. Now what I am saying, the water rises up and coming down, but when this process happens in a particular rhythm, in a particular flow, and that is to twice a day, 2 times in a day, then such a process is called as tides. Now sometimes high tides are also there, that is their height is up to the maximum extent, and sometimes low tides are also there. So what happen when high tides are there? As I already told you, it can lead to different worsened situation in the form of tsunami or in other form. And when normal tides are there, as the water is coming down with a particular rhythm, it just go to you can say just go to touch the seashore and then come back. So you can see here students, different information is given here only. So what we can say, that there is strong gravitational pull. Now who is exerting or who is responsible for this gravitational pull? The sun and the moon are responsible for this gravitational pull. They are applying this gravitational pull on the earth's surface, and because of this gravitational pull, it is possible that the tides are formed or that the tides occurred. Now when the water of the earth is closer to the moon, it gets pulled under the influence of the moon gravitational force, and when it is under sun, it is caused or done because of the gravitational pull of the sun. So what is said here, that we have already studied about the concept of full moon night. So that is what mentioned here, that during the full moon, that is the day when the whole moon is clearly or completely visible to us, the sun, the moon and the earth, they all are in same line. So this question can be asked to you, that on what day the sun, the moon and the earth are in same line. So the answer is on the full moon night or on the full moon day. Now the question is, when these three, that is the earth, moon and the earth are in same line at this particular point, tides are at its highest level or at its maximum level, and these tides are called as spring tides. Now again this question can be asked to you, what are spring tides? When the earth, moon and the sun are in same line and the height of the tides is up to the highest level, then such type of tides are called as spring tides. Now what is there? When the moon is in its first and the last quarter. Quarter means when we divided it into the 4 parts. So when the moon is in its first and the last quarter, the ocean waters get diagonally opposite directions. It flows in diagonally opposite direction because of the gravitational pull of what? Gravitational pull of sun and moon, and which results in low tides. What I said, when high tides will be there, when the earth, the sun and the moon will be in the same line, and when low tides will be there, when the moon is in its first and last quarter and the flow of water is in its diagonally opposite direction. At that particular time, the tides that used to flow, the tides that used to formed, they are called as low tides, and these low tides are also called as neap tides. Now I hope you understood this concept very well. Thereafter, students, high tides always helps in navigation. Navigation means in searching the different direction or in searching the different places, and this also helps the ships to arrive at the harbor or the port from where the ship used to go to different places for trade purpose or some other purposes that is there. And high tides also help in fishing. How? Because with the flow of water, huge chunk of fishes also flow with the water. They reaches the shore, and people who are there can easily fetch fishes for them from there. So that is why high tides also help in that. So this is the concept of high tide, and during high tide, plentiful means maximum quantity of fishes are available for the local people who are residing there, and they can easily fetch fishes during the high tides. Then your next is ocean currents. Now what are ocean currents? Ocean currents are the streams of water flowing constantly on the ocean surface in a definite direction. When the ocean water is flowing in a definite, that means in a particular direction, then that particular flow of water in that definite direction or particular direction is called as ocean circulation. Now what we can say, we have, if we divide or we talk about ocean currents, then we can say warm ocean currents are also there and cold ocean currents are also there. And now you know, whenever nearby you can say equator places or hot regions will be there, so definitely hot ocean currents will be there, and near the pole cold ocean currents will be there. So that is what mentioned here, that when these currents are near the equator, hot ocean currents are there, and when they are near the poles, cold ocean currents are there. And the cold ocean currents, water they used to carry from polar or from high altitudes. High altitude means the level of cold is maximum at those places. That is why cold ocean currents are found there. Now some of the examples are given here regarding the cold ocean current or hot ocean current. The Labrador ocean current is the cold ocean current, and the Gulf Stream is a warm ocean current. So this can be asked to you. Give an example or name one warm ocean current. So what you are going to write? Gulf Stream. It can be asked to you, name one cold ocean current. What you can said that at particular time, that is your Labrador. So the areas where the warm and cold currents meet provide the best fishing grounds to the fishermen or to the people. That is the place, the destination where both the hot ocean current as well as the cold ocean current meets. That place is the best destination for doing fishing, for fetching fishes. That is what mentioned here, and some examples or some designations related to that are also mentioned here, like in Japan or in eastern coast of North America and many more. And during this time, to navigate, that is to search different places, became little bit difficult. So students, that's it about our topic. We discussed regarding water, its important and how it's formed in different form, in the form of waves, in the form of tides and in the form of ocean currents. So now we will start discussing the question answers of the topic, students. So let's start, student. Our first question is, what is precipitation? Falling of moisture in the form of rainfall, snow, fog and hailstone is termed as precipitation. What does that mean? When water became too heavy to hold itself on the surface or in the sky, it got fallen down on the earth's surface in different form, like in the form of rainfall, in the form of snow, in the form of fog. Then such process is called as your precipitation. Your next question is, what is water cycle? Students, we have already discussed this concept in detail. The next question is, what are the factors that affect the height of the waves? So what we can say, yeah, we have already discussed this thing, that the winds, earthquake, volcanic eruption, means all the underwater activities they use to affect the level of the water. The next is, which factors affect the movement of ocean water? Temperature, winds, gravitational pull, that I explained to you in detail. Gravitational pull of moon and sun affects their height. The next is, what are tides and how they are caused? This also, students, we have already discussed in details, that how tides are formed. The next question is, what are ocean currents? Just now we have discussed what are ocean currents, that is when the stream of water continuously flows in a particular direction, in a definite direction, that is your ocean current. Then your question number 2 is, give reasons why ocean water is salty. We have already discussed this, because maximum quantity or maximum amount of salt is dissolved in ocean water. The next is, the quality of water is deteriorating. Deteriorating, you can say, is getting spoiled or is getting disturbed day by day. What is the reason behind that? Overpopulation, and people are you can say releasing toxic industrial waste and throwing garbage in the water and doing other sort of such activities which are destroying or you can say just affecting the quality of water. The next question is, your tick the correct answer. The process by which water continuously changes its form and circulates between ocean, atmosphere and land. Now what it is called as? Water cycle, tides or ocean currents. We have already discussed that it is called as water cycle. The next question is, generally the warm ocean currents originated near poles, equator or none of these. I already told you, warm ocean currents will be there in warm area, that is near the equator, and cold ocean currents will be there in the cold area, that is near the poles. The next topic is the rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice in a day. It is called as tide, ocean current or wave. It is called as your tides. We have already discussed this topic in detail. And last one is your match the following. First one is your Caspian Sea. So in Caspian Sea, what we can say that it is the largest lake. The next is your tide. Now that is your periodic rise and fall of water. Then is your tsunami, which is strong seismic waves, which leads to obviously huge destruction in the nearby area. And last is your ocean currents, and which is your stream of water flowing or moving in a particular or definite direction. So students, that's it about our chapter. I hope that you understand the concept of the chapter very well, and I hope that you enjoyed the session. Thank you, students.